Hello and welcome to grammar class. Today's topic is the future continuous or the future progressive tense. But how to identify the future continuous tense? What is the verb structure of the future continuous tense? Well, the future continuous tense has the verb structure of the auxiliary verb shall or will plus be plus the fourth form or the ing form of the main verb. In the structure, the helping verb shall or will indicates the future time of the action, while verb be and the fourth form or the ing form of the main verb show the continuity of the action. But where to use shall and where to use will? It all depends on the subject. The helping verb shall is used if the subject is the first person pronoun I or we. So we understand that the auxiliary verb shall is normally used for I and we only and no other pronoun or noun. While the helping verb will is used for all other pronouns like the second person you, the third person pronouns he, she, they, it, and all nouns, both singular and plural nouns. But will and shall have some special uses too. For example, although normally for I and we shall is used, but if will is used for I or we, it shows determination, certainty, or a promise. In the same way, if the subject is he, she, you, it, they, or any noun, will is normally used. However, shall may be used for these subjects to show a command or a promise or a threat or in legal English. So now we understand that the structure of the future continuous is shall or will plus be plus the fourth form of the verb. But what does the future continuous tense show? The future continuous tense indicates that an activity or action will be in progress or continuity in the future. As the name suggests, it shows a continuous or ongoing activity in the future. In other words, the future progressive or continuous tense denotes an ongoing or continuous action at a point of time or over a period of time in the future. So to put it simply, the future continuous tense tells us that a certain activity will be in progress or in continuity at a particular point of time in future or over a period of time in future. So we understand that while the simple future tense only tells us that an activity will take place sometime in future, the future continuous tense indicates that a certain action will be going on or in progress in future. Now see some examples of the future continuous tense on your screen. The dog will be barking all night. Here the verb is will plus be plus the ing form of bark. So will be bark is in future continuous tense. It shows that the act of barking by the dog will continue or go on throughout the night. In the same way, he will be studying till midnight. Here the verb is will be studying. It is in future continuous tense. It shows that in future the boy will continue to study for a length of time, for a period of time till midnight. And then the train will be running for 2 days. Here the verb will be running is in future continuous tense. Will be and the ing form of the verb run. It shows that the train will continue to run for 2 days in future. Finally, I shall be fasting for 24 hours. Here the verb shall be fasting is also in future continuous tense. It shows that the action of fasting will be in progress for 24 hours in future. So now we have understood the concept and the structure of the future continuous tense. It is also important to remember that the future continuous tense is also used with the simple present tense to show two concurrent or simultaneous future activities or two future activities occurring at the same time. In other words, if an action continues in future with another action taking place at the same time, the future continuous tense is used with the simple present tense to express them in a complex sentence. For example, I shall be studying when father returns home. Shall be studying is in future continuous tense. It shows an ongoing future activity, while the other activity, returns home, is in simple present tense, taking place at the same time. Here my studying is a continuous future activity, but father's returning home is not a continuous but a simple future activity. But both these activities will take place at the same time. And in the second example, the whole world will be watching when the two leaders meet. Here will be watching is in future continuous tense, but meet is in simple present tense. Both these activities are going to take place at the same time. But here the verbs returns or meet cannot be used in future continuous tense because they come after the conjunction when and only serve the purpose of showing the time for the first continuous activity. Well, up next is another very important use of the future continuous tense. It may indicate a pre-planned or an expected activity of the near future. In such cases, it may not be a progressive or continuous activity of the future, but a planned or expected action likely to take place in the very near future. For example, I shall be visiting him tomorrow. Here, visiting is obviously not a future progressive or continuous action, but it's my plan to visit him in the near future, that is tomorrow. Similarly, the PM will be unfurling the tricolor on Independence Day. Obviously, unfurling cannot be a future progressive or continuous activity. It's a pre-arranged official activity for the near future. And then the last example, he will be coming here soon. Here coming is not a progressive future action, but he is expected to come here soon. It's an expected future action. Let's now learn how to use the future continuous tense in interrogative sentences. We use the auxiliary verb will or shall before the subject and then be and the ing form of the verb after the subject. Will you be playing in the rain? Will they be shouting slogans? Will is coming before the subject you and be playing after the subject. Will is coming before the subject they in the second sentence, while be shouting comes after the subject. The third example, shall I be waiting for you here? The auxiliary verb shall is always used for I or we in the interrogative sentences. Well, at last, please remember that the future continuous tense has no passive voice. So this tense has no passive voice structure. We may use the simple future tense in passive voice. So that's the end of today's class. I hope you liked the video. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel for more grammar videos. Thank you very much for watching the video till the end.